It's the Josh McCown, Mike Glennon arrangement.
Yeah.
Hey, this is our guy, and then 6 weeks from now, we don't know how long this guy's going to be the starter. It's Mitch Trubisky. The year they got Kenny Pickett in Pittsburgh. We see it all the time. That's what Sam Darnold becomes for the Minnesota Vikings. A placeholder, a bridge, short term, 1 year. And now the other side of it is who knows what he's going to do with Kevin O'Connell. We saw Josh Dobbs better than ever with Kevin O'Connell. Nick Mullins threw for 400 yards with Kevin O'Connell. The only guy that we haven't seen much from is Jaron Hall, who against the Falcons last year led a drive all the way down to the end zone, but suffered a concussion trying to score the touchdown that opened the door for Josh Dobbs. So there's a chance Jaron Hall may have something. I don't know how it's going to play out, but, I saw on Super Bowl Sunday, just 2 days after I had that epiphany, talking to Julie Cousins while she was talking to my wife about, I think, this may not work. Somebody and it got caught up in all the Super Bowl Sunday splash reports. Somebody linked Darnold to the Vikings, and that made that sinking feeling for me even stronger. It's like they're already planning to.
Yeah, I hear you. This was definitely out there. Everybody knew the Sam Darnold was high up on the list of the Vikings, if as the contingency plan, as they say, right? You're no doubt about that. That's where, like, I heard all those things and heard it from people that I trust and all that. That's where the Kirk Cousins thing was shocking yesterday, and I should have listened to you more. But I just didn't hear from anybody that I trusted in the league of enough to know it that way. But the Sam Darnold thing seemed very real, and you're right. Just off of that alone and how that was going around the circles of the NFL, I should have probably taken the Kirk Cousins thing more serious, because obviously Minnesota had a feel that it could be danger time with Kirk leaving.
Yeah, and Darnold is the guy who now steps in. The grandson of Dick Hammer steps in as the bridge quarterback for Minnesota Vikings on a $10 million deal for 1 year. All due respect to Sam Darnold, Chris, why weren't they in it on Russell Wilson? If they knew this was coming, why aren't you on the phone with Russ saying, hey, Russ, let's ride, let's pillage, let's plunder? Like, I think you're our starter here.
Well, yeah, I hear you there. I think there's all the baggage that comes with Russell Wilson a little bit, like we talked about. The other thing, too, and we hit on this yesterday a little bit, and you've hit on this with, the Sean Payton dynamic in Denver. I don't think Russell Wilson's that kind of guy sometimes to these offensive guys that want to attack and checks and do all these things at the line of scrimmage, right? I think that's where Kevin O'Connell's going to look at it and go, man, he didn't like Sean Payton and doing that. Well, I'm kind of along those lines of how I want to attack, so that doesn't fit me. He wants more of the, at the line of scrimmage, right? Knows the coverages, gets the offense into the right play, makes the right checks. Hey, those plays he talked about us at the combine where it's the same play, but there's nuance to it and it changes from week to week with some of the rules, right? He needs a quarterback that can be all over that type of stuff, right? And I think that's where Russell Wilson's questioned a little bit to a degree. And Sam Darnold, has the reputation of being able to handle that. Now let's see, for the first time ever, with a coach, some talent around him and all that, can Sam Darnold show that, he is a starting quarterback? This is going to be the first time he has a chance to be in a situation where we can legitimately look at it and go, well, he should succeed. The Jets we knew was like, oh, I don't know if it's going to work. Number 3 pick, I don't know, Jets, right? Carolina Panthers were like, oh, man, damn, he's going to Carolina. Jeez, it's going to be hard to look good there. Here's one where it's like, nah, you shouldn't look bad here. Not with this coach and this offense, right? So we're going to see all about Sam Darnold here and him, being thrusted into the spotlight, at least in the early part of the season, if they don't draft a quarterback.
The most memorable moment from Sam Darnold's career with the Jets was the hot mic NFL Films seeing ghosts moment.
Right.
Monday night against the New England Patriots. So it's going to be Kevin O'Connell's job to make sure that there are no ghosts, that the ghosts aren't real, and that all he's seeing are the openings in the defense based upon the attack plan that O'Connell's come up with, unless and until they get a guy in the draft that ends up being better than Sam Darnold. But you have been a proponent of Darnold since he entered the league as the 3rd overall pick from the Jets. Remember, the Jets traded up with the Colts to get in position to get Darnold. He was the second quarterback taken, and when Baker Mayfield, Saquon Barkley, Sam Darnold that year. So that's the same year that Cousins started playing for the Vikings, 2018.
Yeah, right.
Cousins signs with the Vikings in March. Darnold gets drafted by the Jets in April. And, there was a point last year where, we thought, it was after that Vikings game when Brock Purdy took a couple of hits and he was concussed and somehow got cleared to play just 6 days later. We thought Darnold was getting a start the week after they had lost to the Minnesota Vikings, but that wasn't to be. That was when they lost to the Bengals, right? 31-17 after losing to the Vikings on Monday night. The same day Cousins tore his Achilles tendon. So we'll see what Darnold can do. And by the way, a couple of final points on Cousins.
Yeah.
I did the research last night, and I've been saying they haven't had a franchise quarterback since Fran Tarkenton. Kirk Cousins is the first quarterback to start 8 or more games for 6 straight seasons for the Vikings since Fran Tarkenton.
That's incredible.
And Tarkenton only did it 7 straight years because he was gone with your Giants from 67 to 72. Right. So he had 7 years when he came back of 8 or more starts, and no one had gotten close to that until Cousins. And we've got the list of all the names. Some will conjure good memories for Vikings fans. Some will cause you to quote Conor McGregor and say, who the fook is that guy? So sorry if that even counts. Feck is okay. If Feck is okay, then fook is okay in my book. But, a long list of guys, revolving door of guys, and they want that guy because they understand it. This goes back to what Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah said July of 2022.
Yeah, right.
When he said, I'm a little nervous we didn't blow it up at quarterback. He said that.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm nervous about is we're not tearing it down at quarterback.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is good, but basically you need Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady if you want to win a Super Bowl. So this has been brewing for a while in Minnesota. They want to go all in at quarterback and get the guy that's going to be there for 7 or more years as their starter, starting half the games or more in every single season.
Yeah, no, I know those were strong words by Kwiatkowski when he said them. That they really were. But it seemed like the tune had changed. But maybe that's why there was a line of demarcation there as far as how much they were willing to pay. Where management looked at it and went, wait, we're not willing to go here. We don't think you're that caliber of a player. We think the offense and the people around you and Kevin O'Connell have made you maybe look a little bit better than what you really are, right? And maybe that's the thought there. But they're in the Sam Darnold business. They gave him $10 million, right? He is going to be the guy that starts there. And then where does it go from there? And do they try to make a move as far as the starting in the draft at quarterback? But I do think Sam Darnold fits this offense in a lot of ways. And like I go back to my old phrase, Mike, again, if you're around crap and crap's all around you, you're going to start to smell and look like crap too. And that's what he was with in the Jets and the Carolina Panthers. We've yet to see him in a spot to where I realistically as a football evaluator go, well, right, he should have succeeded here and he didn't. The 2 spots he's been at, I want to go, well, you put most quarterbacks there other than maybe a handful in the history of the sport. They're going to fail with the Jets and the Carolina Panthers. So, we'll see if he could take advantage of that opportunity. But I do think he's got the skill set to thrive in that offense. Here's some things to give you some love here, right? He's a pretty good athlete. He's definitely a better athlete than Kirk Cousins, popping around the pocket or running. His arm is better than Kirk Cousins. I'll tell you that as well. His release is quicker than Kirk Cousins. Now, he hasn't played as much football and had the success, and I know all of that. But there are some things to be excited about with Sam Darnold. There was a reason he was the number 3 pick, and a lot of people thought he would be the number 1 pick. He did have some skills and ability and the size that, I think people looked at and went, hey, he's kind of elite in this area. So, we'll see if he can take advantage of the opportunity. I'm rooting for him.
Quick pop quiz. Give me the month and the year in which Sam Darnold was born.
Oh, gosh. He's young. I remember he's young here. I'm not going to be able to know the month, but I'm going to say he was born in 1998, the year you guys lost to the Falcons in the NFC Championship game.
Close. 97. He's 26 years old. And that's stunning to me. And
Right.
I think it's because, it's kind of like playing for the Jets is like being president. It ages the hell out of you. And paying attention to the Jets ages the hell out of you.
Right.
But he's only 26 at a time when there's this push for young. Isn't Michael Penix 25?
Yeah. Yes.
Isn't like one of the guys coming out
Right.
old?
Bo
like
Nix and Michael
Sam
Penix
Darnold,
are up
grand
there.
scheme of things. Grand scheme of things, Sam Darnold is still largely untapped, unproven, and who knows what his ceiling is. But and this may be how they kind of tried to calm Kevin O'Connell down when he was saying we need to keep Kirk. It's like, but you can get the most out of anyone, and you got the most out of Kirk. It's not him, it's you. So let's find another guy that you can turn into something more than maybe what he's ever been, which is kind of what he did with Kirk Cousins. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.